Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Bienvenidos, queridas del Valle del Río Grande. Muy buenos días. Ahora sí, la nueva pregunta del día de hoy. Ojalá hayan sintonizado el día de ayer sobre cómo empezar a someter a la oferta para una casa. Again, I'm going to repeat, this is where real estate agents really shine, or real estate professionals, trying to make sure that everything's lined up right. Anyways, this is where real estate agents really come to shine, because this is where they really get to show their expertise and really help you to the best of their ability as far as getting you into the house that you deserve at the best possible price in the fastest time possible. So one thing that I did forget to comment yesterday on was, so once they work all that market analysis and once they guide you through everything that's included in the actual purchase offer, the next thing that the real estate agent or your real estate professional is going to do is they're going to hand over the purchase agreement to the seller or the seller's agent. And one of three things can happen. The seller can either accept the contract, they can reject the contract, or they can counter offer with some different terms. So more than likely it's going to be, the most common thing is going to be a counter offer, which is what we're hoping to do, is at least open up that ways of communication, pretty much what we're trying to do until we get to the final agreed on price. So that's pretty much how you end up submitting an offer, how the real estate agent can actually come in and help you submit the offer, negotiate the best possible price, and get you from looking for houses to opening up escrow so you can eventually own your own home. So on today's episode, what I want to cover a little bit more on is going to be on the big ticket items that are included in every purchase agreement that most of the time get negotiated. It's where we see the counter offers, a little bit of going back and forth until we arrive at an agreement. Before I go on, I'd like to wish you all feliz 5 de mayo para todos. Antes de empezar, quería tocar en eso y empezar sobre cómo voy a repasar los detalles más críticos acerca de la oferta de un contrato, la oferta de la compra de una casa, que es normalmente lo que más que siempre se negocia en un contrato, y es lo que hace la diferencia de que si entran en un contrato, si abren los trámites con la casa de título o no, si se acepta una oferta o no. Entonces, so right off the bat, everybody starts thinking that the biggest thing on a purchase agreement is going to be the offer price. That's what everybody focuses on. How much should I offer? How much money should I offer below asking price, or just how much below asking price should I offer? Or if there's multiple offers, if the market has been really active, kind of like the way it was before COVID-19, is there multiple offers on the table? Should I go in with a higher than asking price offer? So again, this is where the real estate agent is going to really shine as far as them knowing the market, the local market, and give you the best guidance as to what the best option is going to be for you to have the winning bid. But taking that into consideration, again, this is what most people kind of focus on. And what most people don't understand is that it doesn't necessarily come down to the purchase price or the asking price for the purchase to have a winning offer. There's other items on the actual contract or on the purchase offer that come into effect. So when I receive an offer for a seller from a buyer, and I have multiple offers, I kind of do some analysis before I present it to the seller. I put offers side to side and compare not just the asking price or the offer price, but also the terms that come with the purchase offer, to arrive at not just the net proceeds after all expenses are paid, but also how fast can they close, and who their lender is, and what are they asking for in the actual contract. So going down the list, purchase price is one of the things, the first thing that everybody thinks about. So it's purchase price. After that, you have to think about also the title policy. It is customary, or it's pretty common that the seller pays for title policy, but it's not always the case. So that's something that a lot of people kind of tend to overlook. Title policy is usually going to be about 1%, more or less, guesstimating about 1% of the purchase price. And again, customarily it's paid by the seller, but it's not necessarily work out that way every single time. So it's one of those things that if you do ask for the seller to pay for that title policy, is one of those things that may weaken your purchase offer. So that title policy. The next thing is going to be the survey. A survey is pretty much, well, actually, let me back up a little bit. So that title policy, what it is paying the actual title company to give you a title commitment, the actual seller's title policy. So that's what that policy is. That you're going to receive a clean title to the property. Of course, there's more details, more fine print that describes this title policy, which you should consult your title company, lender, all that good stuff to really understand what the title policy is. This is kind of just an overview of it. So the next thing is going to be the survey. So the survey is pretty much an engineer or surveying company is going to go out to the property and just mark the lines of what exactly belongs on your property and where the structure is on the property, if it has any encroachments or anything like that. So the survey is one of those other things that are also negotiable in a purchase offer. I've seen it 50-50. Sometimes a buyer pays for it, sometimes the seller pays for it. Again, if as a buyer, if you're asking for the seller to pay for this, it's one of those items that can be counteroffered where the seller doesn't want to pay for it. And if you're asking for it, it kind of weakens your offer a little bit. Surveys, they vary depending on who you're going with, or the engineer, who the surveying company is, but rough estimate about $350, $400 more or less on a standard city lot. So again, there's an overview. It's more specific than that. You have to actually go shopping around for surveyors. The other thing is seller concessions. So are you going to ask for the seller to help you out with closing costs? I mentioned on a previous video that on FHA programs, the seller is allowed to help you with up to 6% of the purchase price for seller concessions. Again, there's fine print to this that specifies what these seller concessions can be applied to and in what order. So the big thing about the seller concessions, and this is where most of the negotiation takes place a lot of times, on asking for help from the seller, especially from first-time home buyers. How much asking for the seller to help you with closing costs. The more that you ask for is going to be of course, it's going to make the offer that much weaker. So let's say, for example, you're offering a $100,000 purchase or $100 for a house, but you're asking $5,000 in seller concessions. The seller is not actually seeing a $100,000 offer. They're actually seeing a $95,000 offer at the end of the day, because they're reducing the help that they're going to give you for the seller concession. So you have to keep that in mind on how much, when you're deciding how much you want to offer and how much you want to ask in seller concessions. If you don't need the seller concessions, then maybe asking for a lower price would be better. Again, you have to consult with your real estate professional to see what the best option is. Most important of all, before any of these, is even before the offer price, is this the house that you can see yourself living in? Is this the house that you can see yourself or your family making memories in? That's the most important thing, because all these other numbers, everything's negotiable. It really comes down to that. Are you willing to part from that house because you want to sacrifice a couple of these things, whether it's the purchase price or the seller concessions? So it really does come down to that, if you want to ask for seller concessions and how much you want to offer, because the less that you offer and the more concessions that you ask for, the weaker the offer is, and it may make the difference between you buying the house of your dreams or losing out on it to somebody else who actually pays what the seller is asking for. So it's something to keep in mind. Again, it completely depends on the local market, how active, how many buyers there are, how many offers they have on the table. So definitely consult with your real estate professional on this, whether it's myself or any other buyer's agent. One of the last things, or one of the last two of the last items, are one of them is a home warranty. Home warranty pretty much is kind of, it covers your major appliances in your house. Now, the policies differ from vendor to vendor, from residential service company to company. We went over home warranty a couple of videos ago, but that's another one of those things. Texas promulgated contracts do have a clause in there where you can ask for help or for some monies from the seller to pay for that home warranty. If you have a really great real estate agent, sometimes they'll gift those to you. But it's another one of those things that if you do ask for for monies for the home warranty to pay for a home warranty, then it may make your offer a little bit weaker. The other thing, one of the last items is the option period. So we, as real estate agents, we do recommend, it is not, and I've gone through this the last couple of days so many times, it is not mandatory for, most of the time it is not mandatory for you to get a home inspection, but it is always recommended. To the very minimum, you want to know what you're getting yourself to. Even if you love the house, if it's a perfect house and you will pay whatever you need to pay to get into the house, that's fine. Still get a home inspection. We recommend you to get a home inspection, so at least you know what you're getting into, whether it needs repairs or it needs it has some deferred maintenance that you need to pay attention to as soon as you move in. It's always good to know. So that option period, the customary thing to do is ask for, or for, at least from my experience, is 10 days in exchange for $100 that are non-refundable. So you're going to pay the seller $100, whether it's a check, money order, a Zelle transfer, a Cash App, whatever it is. In exchange, they're going to give you 10 days for you to be able to hire a home inspector to be able to go into the house and inspect the house thoroughly and give you an inspection report. So again, it's one of those things that we strongly recommend. Yes, if you want to make your offer really strong, say you want to avoid making a weak offer by not asking for surveys, or not asking for the seller to pay for any surveys or concessions or title policy, but you do want to have that option period, and you want to make, or you don't want to have that option period, you want to make your offer stronger, then you don't have to have an option period, but still get a home inspection. So again, you put that option period, even though, in the short term, it may look like it's a weaker offer, but it's very customary, it's very normal for people to ask for that option period. So don't be alarmed by asking for it. It's one of those things that, even though it may make the offer a bit weaker, it's not necessarily a bad thing to ask for it. Buyers ask for that option period more often than not. I guess that's in short terms, or the easiest way I can say it is that way. That buyers ask for that option period more often than not, and it's pretty customary. So ask for that option period. If you really want to make your offer a lot stronger, you don't need to ask for that option period. If you choose that route, still get a home inspection. I can't emphasize that enough. It is strongly recommended. So one of the last things that's not part of the clauses or not included in the contract, but that does make a difference sometimes, especially if there's multiple offers on the table, is the lender. Something that a lot of people don't talk about. If a lender is known to either not come through on some of the loans or take a long time, then, and if the seller's agent is aware of it, they may recommend the seller to choose another offer, even if it's a little bit lower, a little bit different, but the lender is a little bit more guaranteed or more assured that they're going to close on the loan, then they may choose that other offer. So really consider who you're going with. Sometimes online lenders, the ones that are just strictly online, that are not local, have been known to have some issues in this regard, as far as not being acceptable offers. So really shop around for lenders before anything else, to see who you feel comfortable with and who's more sure to get you to that closing table. So in a nutshell, of course, contracts go into more depth than this, but these are like the bigger big ticket items that usually get negotiated in a sales contract. For more details, please reach out to your local real estate professional and ask some questions. More important than anything else is ask questions. Como quien dice, el que no habla, Dios no lo escucha, así que hagan preguntas, infórmense, edúquense lo más que puedan antes de hacer la compra de una casa. Ojalá y esto les haya ayudado. Si desean esta información más a fondo en español, envíenme un mensaje, comuníquense conmigo, envíen el mensaje al número apuntado aquí abajo. Y pues hasta mañana. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow again at 9:30 a.m. Let me see if I have that question for tomorrow. So today we answered how much should I offer on a house that you like. I hope that answered that question. For tomorrow is going to be let me see. Let me see. So what's next after we submit the offer? What happens next? We can answer that. We'll touch on it tomorrow. If you have any other questions that you'd like for me to answer, again, DM me, send me a comment, text me at the number provided below, and I'll be happy to answer that question. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.